Hi, folks. This is Vladimir on his bear. Terrence Jenkins sent me this photo of Vladimir, and he just said, "I can't believe how macho Vladimir is." Well, Vladimir is really excited, so he's out there riding his bear right now, and he's looking forward to the video response because he made a comment at my YouTube channel. And Terrence Jenkins and Hugh Jackman are out there on their motorcycles with Vladimir. They're going to race him with the bear, I think. Vladimir, I can't believe you're commenting at my YouTube channel. Hey, folks, that is a real bear. According to Terrence Jenkins, Vladimir Putin has he was going to get a motorcycle, but it wasn't macho enough for him, or he said it wasn't badass enough for him. So he decided to buy a bear instead because he said that a bear is to feed a bear salmon is cheaper by the gallon than gasoline. And now he's commenting, I'm going to give him a video response. You deserve this, Vladimir. He said, sexual lover Gail, I am make so erected pants by your sexy voice in this video. Vladimir, blue Vladimir. Hey, you look really sexy on that bear. Yeah, you really do, man. Wow, look at that chest. For a guy at his age, he looks incredible. Incredible. Vladimir got really excited because all the Russians are responding at my YouTube channel, and he decided he wanted to chime in. So he actually created a YouTube channel just so he could make a comment at my YouTube channel. Vladimir and I have been having a lot of good brain-to-brain love in this past week because he works so hard for me. So you just look really sexy on that bear, Vladimir. Really sexy. You're such a macho man, and you work so hard for me. Regarding that bear, the Terrence Jenkins Skyped me, and he said that Vladimir was getting frustrated with the current motorcycles on the market, and he was planning on buying him a motorcycle. He said none of them were badass enough, so instead he bought a bear. He says that salmon is cheaper by the gallon than gasoline anyways. So I asked Terrence, what's he going to do with the bear? He said he's going to do with the bear like he would with his motorcycle. He's going to ride it. And I said, a bear? He said, yes, it was a wild bear. And he's riding it everywhere. And I said, how in the world? I asked Terrence, how in the world did he manage to get the bear to behave like a horse? He said he thinks that he trained the bear. And Terrence tried to Skype me a picture of Vladimir training the bear, but Zach Knight switched the picture out with some other guy, and it wasn't. And then Terrence said, well, that's probably better because we don't want to make it appear like Vladimir was abusing bears. And so Vladimir said that because the Russians have been so avidly making comments at my YouTube videos, he was inspired to do the same. So the Russians, I'm getting some real comments from the Russians now. The Russians are so brave. I respect their courage. Though I try to use wisdom, like I've got this guy named Ivan. Hi, Ivan. And another one I can't remember. I don't know what his name is, but I do respect your courage, even if I may not quite agree with your approaches to some of our, I don't know if I call them enemies, but people who don't agree with us. And I think a lot of these are Jesuits in disguise. Anyways, back on to Vladimir. So Vladimir trained the bear, and that picture that you see of him, Terrence sent that to me. That's a picture of Vladimir on his bear, and he was wrestling the bear while he was taming it, and it appears that the bear and Vladimir get along really good now. And another thing is, he's got this bear trained so that he can get this bear to kill people. Like he's got this bear trained to kill Jesuits. Have you seen the Russian movie War and Peace? I have it, where Pierre's with the bear. Apparently Russians like their bears, So I just, but he uses the bear to kill Jesuits, bad Jesuits. And unfortunately, there are a lot of Jesuits that are bad. And he also got the bear to run on its hind paws, kind of like standing up, sort of like in the movie War and Peace, if you've seen the Russian movie War and Peace. And I was just telling Terence, you know, I could imagine Jesus riding a bear because Jesus is so macho. Even though I think the movie Jesus of Nazareth portrays Jesus very well, and I think Robert Powell did a really good job portraying Jesus. If I was Robert Powell and I was doing Jesus of Nazareth, I'd put a little bit more manliness in my portrayal of Jesus. Every time Jesus meets with me and my men, he's super. Even though he's got hair down to the middle of his waist, he is really macho. And he's got a good chest. I mean, it's kind of like a Matthew McConaughey kind of a chest, you know. Even though I told Jesus, I bet you're pretty handsome. He says, I'm just a pretty ordinary looking fella. He's just being modest. Brent Spiner tells me, Gail, he's actually pretty good looking. And when Jesus goes out with us and he dresses kind of like a hippie. He wears blue jeans and casual clothes now because Brent and my men took Jesus out shopping, and Jesus decided he wanted to dress like a 21st century person and not like, you know, that robe that he wore when he was with his first group of disciples. So when he goes out shopping, he gets hit on by a lot of girls. And he usually gets real scriptural with them and starts sharing stuff from the Bible with them. That's what Brent tells me. Jesus is super cool. He is such a big and vast person, but he's really, really macho. And he's not a cock blocker, but he's also not. He doesn't believe in sexual treachery either. So he doesn't really like the way Jesuits do their sex. He in fact, the way he describes Jesuit sexuality is he told me they need to learn some moderation. He says they don't know how to do anything in moderation. They're, you know, totally off balance, which is a real characteristic of devil worshippers anyway. They're fanatics. Jesus doesn't like it. So anyways, this is a real picture of Vladimir and his bear, and I promised Vladimir a response. Like I said, he's got this bear all trained, and I just got this real kick that he's put a response up at my YouTube channel. I told Vladimir, you need to contact YouTube and let them know that you're the real Vladimir and that's not an imposter, because he just created a channel. I could see it just so he could respond to me. And Vladimir says he's going to do this. He needs to present evidence to them that you're the real Vladimir and that you're not an impersonator. Because I know Zach Knight's going to try to take down Vladimir's YouTube channel just like he took down Brent Spiner's YouTube channel. Because Brent Spiner created a YouTube channel for me, and then the Jesuits used the Brent Spiner clone to contact YouTube and claim that Brent Spiner's YouTube channel was done by an impersonator, and they brought this channel down. So I anticipate the Jesuits are going to try to do the same thing with Vladimir, and I told Vladimir to contact YouTube right now and let them know that you are the real Vladimir Putin, and that if anybody claims to represent you and they contact YouTube about your channel, that they need to go through you first, and Vladimir says he's going to do that. So, hi Vladimir, you are one sexy guy. You know, I love a macho man. Really turns me on in bed. Though the one macho guy that I won't allow to turn me on in bed is Jesus, because Jesus doesn't like that, because Zach Knight always tries to impersonate him. And so to protect me, he doesn't like that. It's not that I offend him if I say that he turns me on in bed. It's just that he doesn't want me to be vulnerable to Zach Knight. That's the problem. So